Every morning, millions of South Africans wake up to Clover, the perfect start to every day. With a turnover of more than 3 billion rand and a staff of more than 6,000, the Clover Group processes about 1/3 of South Africa's milk to produce its range of well-known quality products. Dairy farming is a highly complex and specialized business, run according to established business principles. Hygiene is extremely important, and all equipment is kept scrupulously clean and hygienic. The milk is refrigerated in stainless steel tanks to extend the period during which its nutritious properties can be utilized. This is the first step in the cold chain. The Clover Group's milk purchasing and transportation arm collects the milk on the farm in large insulated tankers. Samples are taken for analysis in the group's laboratories to determine the composition and quality of the milk. At the factory, the raw milk is pumped into large storage tanks for processing. This includes clarification, standardization, homogenization, and pasteurization. These processes enhance the quality and keep the milk fresh for extended periods. Clover's factories and equipment set the standard for the South African industry and can compete with the best in the world. Clover's major factories for fresh milk production are situated in Durban and Clayville, Midrand. Fresh Clover products are also manufactured in Cape Town and Grahamstown. At Frankfort in the Free State, the country's largest and most modern butter factory produces more than 6,000 tons of butter and butter spread annually. Clover's largest cheese factory is at Lichtenburg in the Northwest Province. Cheese is also produced at Wesselsbron and Ladybrand in the Free State. At Escort, Bethlehem and Heilbronn, powders are produced in ultra-modern powder drying facilities that incorporate the very latest technology. Pasteurized Clover full cream milk is loved and enjoyed throughout the country. The group's milk collection and distribution network ensures that fresh Clover milk is available in supermarkets within hours of the cows being milked on the farm. When the cream is separated from full cream milk, the resulting skim milk or low-fat milk has almost the same nutritional value as full cream milk, but with a lower fat content. Flavored milk is made from full cream or low-fat milk, to which flavoring and sugar have been added. Cream can be used on its own or whipped and used in various dishes. When cream is churned, it separates into buttermilk and butter. Clover markets salted and unsalted butter varieties as well as Butro, an easy-spreading blend of butter and plant fats. Milk powder is made from full cream or skim milk, but not all powders are made from real dairy milk. Evaporated and condensed milk both have a thicker consistency than full cream milk, but lots of sugar is added to condensed milk. Cheese is one of the most versatile, nutritious and delightful foods known to man. Cheese contains all the nutrients found in milk, but in a concentrated form. 10 to 11 liters of milk goes into every kilogram of cheese. Fresh cheese is made when the whey or liquid is removed from curdled milk. Ripened cheese is created when the curd is pressed into molds and the cheese is left in special rooms to ripen. The unique flavors of such cheeses as Gouda and cheddar are created during the ripening period. To create processed cheese, various kinds of cheese are melted together and flavorings added. A special starter culture is added to milk to create yogurt, a delicious snack that is often prescribed for patients with stomach ailments. Flavored and unflavored yogurts are manufactured by Danone Clover, a joint venture between Clover and the international Danone Food Group. Danone has revolutionized the local yogurt market by segmenting the national consumer base and introducing new concepts to suit each segment. Clover and Danone are also the major shareholders in Clover Beverages, a company whose products include such popular leading brands as Tropica, Super M, Ultramel Custard and Clover Crush juices. Producing Clover's impressive range of products and distributing them across the country calls for a huge organization with many departments and support services. Let us look at some of these. Clover is a leader in consumer research and testing, product innovation and marketing. To ensure that Clover products comply with world-class quality standards, product quality is safeguarded through continuous testing. The Product Development Department determines consumer needs and develops new products to satisfy those needs, in conjunction with such departments as marketing and production. The Planning Department translates the strategy of the Commercial Division into an operational plan for other departments in the supply chain to follow. The Process Technical Department assists Clover in applying world-class process technology throughout the company. Delivering Clover's products to depots, warehouses and retailers countrywide is the responsibility of Clover Logistics, the group's distribution division. Clover's Customer Service Centre in Rudaport relays orders to the main distribution depots in each area, and a fleet of over 500 delivery trucks moves the products to approximately 16,500 retail outlets. Merchandising staff manage the displays of Clover products in supermarkets, and Clover's marketing department also uses the merchandisers to bring promotional activities to the attention of consumers. Each month, about 180,000 invoices are generated on the Clover Integrated Distribution System to cover these deliveries, a service provided by Credit Management. Clover's Information Services Department keeps a comprehensive computer infrastructure in place to ensure that all processes are optimally automated. Overseeing all the financial aspects of the group is Clover's Finance Department, which is responsible for setting policies, procedures, standard systems and techniques throughout the group. The Human Resources Department supports line management in ensuring the optimal utilization of the group's human potential and creating an environment in which competent and results-driven people work and want to work. Clover's Legal and Secretarial Department renders a comprehensive service to the group and plays a pivotal role in ensuring compliance to corporate governance and statutory requirements. Finally, keeping everyone informed of the Clover Group's policies and decisions is the responsibility of Corporate Services, the department that specializes in the group's internal and external communications. It's a vast structure dedicated to producing, distributing and marketing Clover's unique range of dairy and related products. So many products, so many flavors, so much variety, yet all have one characteristic in common. They're all manufactured to the highest standards of quality, innovation and taste. No wonder so many consumers rely on the one name they've known since childhood: Clover. Every morning, millions of South Africans wake up to Clover, the perfect start to every day. From Simonstown to Soweto, Gauteng to Garis, Pietermaritzburg to Palabora, Clover products are poured into coffee and cereal, drunk as appetizers and health drinks, spread on toast, sliced and put on sandwiches, or simply enjoyed as they are for their great taste, outstanding nutritional value and superb quality. The name Clover is one of the country's best known and most trusted brands, and for a growing number of consumers, the day has simply not started until they've enjoyed their Clover products. Where did this phenomenal brand originate? What has made Clover South Africa's largest and most successful dairy company? And what does it take to produce the range of highly innovative quality products that bear the Clover name? To find the answers, we have to go back to the beginning, to the establishment of the Clover Group, and to the producers of the incomparable natural substance that makes it all possible: milk. This is KwaZulu-Natal, birthplace of the Clover brand and home to some of the finest dairy farms in the country. In 1898, a group of farmers from these fertile green valleys decided to pool their resources and start their own butter factory. With a turnover in excess of 3 billion rand and a staff complement of more than 6,000, the Clover Group today processes approximately 1/3 of South Africa's milk in a multitude of factories and distributes its range of well-known dairy and related products through distribution depots nationwide. More than a century after the establishment of the Natal Creamery, KwaZulu-Natal is still one of Clover's most important milk production areas. Other areas in which milk is produced are the Highveld, the Free State, parts of Mpumalanga, and Eastern, Western and Northern Cape. While the landscape seems to provide the perfect setting for a life of pastoral simplicity, dairy farming today is a highly complex and specialized business, run according to the same established management principles that apply in any other business. Successful dairy farmers employ the latest technology and expertise to maximize production of top-quality milk on their farms or production units. To qualify for commercial milk production, a farming operation has to comply with certain legal requirements in terms of hygiene, equipment and facilities. In addition, the purchaser of the milk will demand that the milk conforms to certain minimum quality standards. When the milk is being purchased by Clover, these standards are extremely high. The bulk of South Africa's milk is produced by 4 breeds of cattle: Frieslands, Guernseys, Jerseys and Ayrshires. Each breed produces its own characteristic type of milk. Jersey milk, for example, is normally richer than Friesland milk, which means it has a higher butterfat and protein content. Such factors are important because they affect the price the farmer is paid for the milk he produces. Choosing the ideal breed of cattle for his farm is one of the dairy farmer's most important decisions. Each breed has its own inherent strengths and limitations, and breeding and selection are employed to improve the quality of the herd. A lot of money can be spent to improve the genetic composition of a herd. Animals with the right qualities may be purchased for breeding purposes, or semen from animals with these qualities can be imported. Many farmers prefer crossbreeding to reinforce desirable qualities or eliminate weaknesses. To maximize milk output, many other factors have to be taken into account. Of these, feeding management is perhaps the most critical. A scientifically balanced and comprehensive feeding program is essential, not only because it has a direct bearing on the health of the animals and quality and quantity of the milk produced, but also because feed costs normally constitute the largest expenditure on a dairy farm. Because feeding is such a specialized subject, many farmers seek expert advice to help them find the ideal program for their particular circumstances. This program could include the grazing of natural or cultivated pastures and the feeding of hay, silage and concentrates in a variety of combinations, depending on climatic conditions, the breed of cattle and many other factors.
Other activities that take up the farmer's time include herd management, healthcare management and disease control, calving, the provision of shelter and other structures, stress management, the purchasing and replacement of equipment, and the keeping of accurate records.
When these very basic requirements are considered, it is obvious that there is a lot more to dairy farming than simply milking a herd of cows and selling the milk to the nearest supermarket. If this is true, how does the milk get into the Clover container we buy at the supermarket? Once again, the process starts with a cow. In order to produce milk, a cow has to produce a calf. After the birth of the calf, the cow enters lactation, the period during which she produces milk. A special milk known as bee stings or colostrum is produced during the first 5 days after calving. This milk is especially important to the young calf because it protects the calf against diseases and is rich in nutrients that promote growth. The quantity of milk produced by the cow gradually increases to reach a maximum approximately 60 days after calving. Thereafter, milk production gradually decreases until the cow no longer produces milk. The period that follows is known as the dry period. The milk production or lactation period lasts about 300 days from the birth of the calf until the dry period begins. A resting period of 2 to 3 months is then allowed before the next calving. A normal, healthy cow will have about 8 lactation periods during her lifetime. Depending on the quantity of milk she produces, the cow is milked 2 to 3 times a day.
The traditional image of someone sitting on a milking stool to milk the cows is no longer part of the modern dairy production facility. Today, computer-controlled milking machines make the entire process a lot quicker and more hygienic. Labor is only required to manage the cows and supervise the milking process. Hygiene is extremely important throughout the milking process, and all equipment must be kept clean and hygienic at all times. An average cow will produce about 20 to 30 liters of milk a day, depending on her stage of lactation. From the measuring flask, the milk passes through very fine filters before it is pumped into chilled stainless steel tanks, where it is cooled down to below 4 degrees Celsius. This is the first link in the cold chain, a process designed to keep the milk fresh and extend the period during which its nutritious properties can be utilized.
Keeping the cold chain intact is an important part of the milk collection process, which is handled by the Clover Group's milk purchasing and transportation arm. The group's milk collection and distribution network reaches virtually every part of the country to ensure that fresh, nutritious Clover milk can be bought within hours of the cows being milked on the farm. All milk purchased and transported by Clover is kept refrigerated at all times. This cold chain keeps the milk fresh until it can be pasteurized or processed at the Clover factory. For products such as fresh milk, the cold chain extends even further, and the product has to be kept refrigerated to the point of consumption. The milk is collected on the farm by a large insulated tanker. Before the milk is pumped into the tanker, the driver takes samples that are analyzed in a laboratory to determine the composition and quality of the milk. The raw milk is analyzed for such factors as butterfat content, protein, lactose, freezing point, and the possible presence of inhibitory substances, for example, antibiotics. The farmer is paid according to the quantity and quality of the milk he produces. A higher price is paid for milk with a high protein and butterfat content. After the milk has been transported to the factory and the samples have been analyzed and approved, it is pumped into large storage tanks for processing. Clover processes its milk and manufactures its products in some of the largest, most modern factories of their kind in the country. The major factories for the production of Clover's pasteurized milk, UHT milk and juices are situated in Durban and Clayville in Midrand. Factories for fresh Clover products are also situated in Cape Town and Grahamstown. Further inland, in Frankfort in the Free State, is the country's largest and most modern butter factory, where more than 6,000 tons of butter and butter spread are produced annually. Clover's largest cheese manufacturing plant is at Lichtenburg in the Northwest Province. Cheese production is also undertaken at Wesselsbron and Ladybrand in the Free State. At Escort, Bethlehem and Heilbronn, powders are produced in ultra-modern powder drying facilities that incorporate the very latest technology. Clover's factories and equipment set the standard for the South African industry. The reason is simple. At Clover, quality is not negotiable. All our factories are certified to ISO 9002 standards. And because many of our products are exported, our facilities can compete with the best in the world. How do these factories transform one of life's basic necessities, milk, into South Africa's finest dairy products? Let's look at some of the processes. When raw milk from the farm arrives at the factory, it is subjected to several processes to improve its quality and extend its useful life. These include clarification, pasteurization, homogenization, standardization, sterilization, and the ultra-high temperature or UHT process. Clarification removes all impurities from the milk, after which it is standardized to restore its ideal composition and comply with legal requirements. During the homogenization process, the milk is forced through tiny holes under pressure to break up the fat globules and distribute the fat evenly throughout the milk. This improves the texture and prevents a layer of cream forming on top. Pasteurization is a process during which milk is heated to between 72 and 74 degrees Celsius and then rapidly cooled to below 4 degrees Celsius. This destroys most bacteria in the milk and prevents the remaining bacteria from multiplying. Pasteurization extends the period during which the milk will remain fresh, and it has practically no effect on the taste and nutritional value of the milk. Sterilization is a two-part process that extends the useful life of the product even further. If stored in a sealed container, sterilized milk will not turn sour easily. Sterilized milk has an unrefrigerated shelf life of 4 months. UHT milk is milk that has undergone treatment at an ultra-high temperature of about 140 degrees Celsius before being rapidly cooled to 4 degrees Celsius. This process destroys all bacteria in the milk. After treatment, the milk is packaged in a special container that allows it to stay fresh unrefrigerated for 5 to 9 months, depending on its composition. Once the pack is opened, however, both sterilized and UHT milk should be refrigerated and used within 4 days. Milk can be turned into a great variety of tasty, healthy, nutritious products, each with its own characteristics. When the cream is separated from full cream milk, the resulting skim milk has almost the same nutritional value as full cream milk, but with a lower fat content. Cream can be used on its own as a topping for cakes and desserts, or it can be whipped and used in various dishes. When cream is churned, it separates into buttermilk, a nutritious drink, and butter. Clover markets salted and unsalted butter under several brand names in a variety of sizes. In addition, Clover blends butter with plant fats to create buttro, a butter spread that is also sold in several flavored varieties. Yogurt is created when a special starter culture is added to milk to create a delicious curdled substance with the same nutrient value as milk. Yogurt is easy to digest and is sometimes prescribed for patients with stomach ailments, since it helps to replace the beneficial bacteria in the alimentary canal. Yogurt is manufactured in flavored and unflavored varieties by Danone Clover, a joint venture between Clover and the international Danone Food Group. Pasteurized Clover full cream milk is loved and enjoyed throughout South Africa. When fat is removed from full cream milk, it is marketed as low-fat milk. Milk powder is made from full cream or skim milk, but not all powders on the market are made from milk. Consumers should therefore be very careful when buying powdered products, because many do not have the nutritional value of real milk powder. Milk can also be treated and enhanced in many ways to create new and different products. Flavored milk is made from full cream or low-fat milk to which flavoring and sugar have been added. Evaporated and condensed milk both have a thicker consistency than full cream milk, but lots of sugar is added to condensed milk. Cheese is one of the most versatile, nutritious and delightful foods known to man. Cheese contains all the nutrients found in milk, but in a concentrated form. 10 to 11 liters of milk goes into making every kilogram of cheese. Cheeses can be divided into 3 categories. Fresh cheese is made from curdled milk from which the whey or liquid portion has been removed. Ripened cheese is created when the curd is pressed into molds and the cheese is left in special rooms to ripen. The unique flavors of such cheeses as Gouda and cheddar are created during this ripening period. Processed cheese is created when various kinds of cheese are melted together and flavorings are added. Cheese is made from pasteurized milk to which a starter culture and rennet are added. The curd is separated from the whey, salted and thoroughly mixed to bring out the flavor. The curd is then pressed into molds to remove the remaining whey. Cheeses that need ripening, like Gouda and cheddar, go to the ripening rooms, where they are ripened for 8 to 10 weeks, and sometimes longer, depending on the type of cheese. Bacteria are responsible for the characteristic taste of the cheese that develops during the ripening process. Clover manufactures many different kinds of cheese, from the well-loved Gouda and cheddar to more exotic types. Another company in the Clover group, Clover Beverages, also contributes to making Clover one of the best-known and best-loved brands in South Africa. Clover and Danone are the major shareholders in this company, specializing in beverages and desserts. Their products include such popular leading brands as Tropica, Ultramel Custard, Super M, and Clover Crush juices. Danone revolutionized the South African yogurt market by segmenting the national consumer base and introducing exciting new concepts to suit each segment. For a healthy lifestyle, Vitalinia, unbelievably tasty for a fat-free yogurt. Danino for healthy growing kids. Yogi Sip Ice created a new look and taste sensation in the Yogi Sip range. Nutri-Day, an affordable yogurt range. And Inkomazi, rich and creamy. Danone brought a wealth of international experience, best quality practice, and innovative marketing strategy to Clover, a trusted South African brand. Clover is a leader in consumer research and testing, product innovation and marketing. Among our many firsts are such groundbreaking brands as Yogi Sip, Tropica, Numel and Tussers, and many more are being developed. To ensure that Clover products comply with world-class quality standards, product quality is safeguarded through continuous testing. Clover's dairy products are tested for a wide range of compositional, hygienic, and other quality parameters like butterfat and protein content, moisture content, pH, salt content, freezing point, total bacteria count, coliform count, yeasts and molds, pasteurization and homogenization effectiveness, and many more. Once the raw materials have been processed and packaged in the factories, the products have to be distributed to depots, warehouses, and retailers across the country. Clover is truly a national supplier and distributor, covering metropolitan as well as rural environments. And the logistics of the distribution process require a lot of meticulous planning and execution. Clover's valued customers range from major chain stores and convenience stores to the proverbial shop on the corner. In addition, Clover also supplies to caterers, manufacturers, and export agents. Clover products even find their way to countries in Africa, the Americas, the United Kingdom, and more. Clover Logistics is the distribution arm through which Clover's products are delivered to the market every day. The distribution infrastructure consists of a national network of distribution centers, satellites, and agents. The satellite concept is a state-of-the-art distribution system applied in Clover Logistics to service the Southeastern Cape and Northern KwaZulu-Natal. Clover's primary distribution operation is responsible for moving products from Clover's factories to the central distribution depot, and from there to the individual distribution depots across the country. orders taken by Clover's customer service center in Rudaport are relayed to the main distribution depots in each area. Secondary distribution entails the movement of products from the distribution depots to approximately 16,500 retail outlets. At Clover's refrigerated warehouses, customers' orders are made up for delivery by the company's fleet of more than 500 delivery trucks. In larger distribution centers, state-of-the-art technology is applied to ensure that customers are supplied with the freshest product by maintaining the cold chain at all times. Throughout the distribution process, Clover Logistics' sophisticated IT systems and dedicated staff ensure smooth operation of the administrative processes. Clover's merchandising staff ensure that the products delivered to the stores are actually displayed on the shelves. Working in conjunction with the larger chain groups, the merchandisers manage the company's stock on a daily basis to keep the shelves full and neat, thereby optimizing sales and minimizing returns and claims. Clover's marketing department also uses the merchandisers and merchandising principles to ensure that promotional activity is brought to the consumer's attention. A modern spin-off of the merchandising function is the category management department, where shelf space design is based on the sales rate of a category of products. A planogram or shelf layout plan is generated, negotiated with the store and finally implemented. The merchandiser then needs to maintain the products on shelf according to this plan. Considering everything we've seen this far, it should be obvious that producing and distributing the large variety of Clover products available in the supermarkets requires a huge organization with many departments and support services. Clover has a comprehensive and integrated computer infrastructure in place to ensure that the business processes of marketing, milk procurement, manufacturing, order processing, distribution, finance, and other admin functions are optimally automated. The CIS department helps the business units to automate their processes by way of business requirement specifications, system design, coding, implementation, and maintenance. The planning department translates the strategy of the commercial division into a strategic and operational plan for other departments in the supply chain to follow. This department looks after such issues as the balancing of raw milk supply to individual factories and the replenishment of stocks at secondary distribution depots. The planning department monitors the execution of strategy on behalf of the commercial division and initiates corrective action where necessary, thus acting as a critical bridge between the commercial division, production, and distribution. The Process Technical Department, which is part of Process Technology, assists Clover in ensuring the optimization of world-class process technology in the company. The engineers at Rudaport are responsible for initiating, maintaining, updating, and supporting the production processes that are ultimately responsible for the unique quality of Clover products. This entails keeping abreast of international technological developments, providing solutions to production challenges, and maintaining and updating a database. Some of the innovative processes that can be traced back to this department include the introduction of a state-of-the-art labeler in the Queensborough packing line and the Clayville cooling and steam plant. Product development is the lifeblood of any manufacturing company, and Clover considers the development of new products and the improvement of existing products as vital to the company's success. The Product Development Department determines consumer needs and develops new products to satisfy those needs in conjunction with such departments as marketing and production. The Product Development Department consists of 3 subdivisions: Product Technology, a Consumer Testing Center, and a Dietary Service. The Product Development Department operates a modern and fully equipped testing laboratory
and a pilot production plant at Heilbronn in the Free State. Consumer preferences are determined in sensory tests conducted at the Consumer Testing Centre's Sensory Laboratory in Heilbronn. Clover's dietary service is also based in Heilbronn, with test kitchens in Rudderput and Queensborough. Another department in Clover that provides an invaluable service is credit management. Clover and its agents deliver to approximately 40,000 sites across South Africa and its neighbouring territories. Each month, about 180,000 invoices are generated on the Clover Integrated Distribution System to cover these deliveries. The system updates each customer's account and generates the accounting entries required for financial reporting purposes. Effective credit management is necessary to maintain a healthy, profitable cash flow and keep customer accounting up to date. After payments have been received at the end of the month, the customer debts exceed 600 million rand. Overseeing all the financial aspects of the group is Clover's finance department, which is responsible for setting policies, procedures, standard systems and techniques throughout the group. A wide range of services is provided by the department, ranging from regular financial reporting, budgeting and tax planning services, to treasury services, insurance, corporate finance, capex control and risk assessment. Finance plays a dual role by exercising financial control as well as providing a service to the business units and respective boards of directors. Finance is also proud of the direction it sets for proper corporate governance within the group. The assessment group CA Ratings recently awarded Clover with a BBB rating for corporate governance. With so many people looking after so many facets of Clover's business, the human resources function plays an important role in Clover's day-to-day running. Some even believe that the astute utilization of human resources is at the heart of the company's success. With Clover's focus on open and participative management, each staff member's contribution is vital. People are the company's most important asset, and each member of staff needs to be properly recruited, selected, placed, induced, managed, supported, nurtured, developed, allowed to grow, and motivated to achieve and then succeed. Clover believes in a qualified, educated and flexible workforce, and the Human Resources Department spends a lot of time developing the group's human capital through education and training. This is part of Clover's continuous improvement philosophy, in which learning becomes an integral feature of the organization. The company values diversity and implements a leadership style in which different perspectives on problems are encouraged. This entails understanding the complexities of leading in a multicultural environment. The Human Resources Department supports line management in ensuring the optimal utilization of the group's human potential and creating an environment in which competent and result-driven people work and want to work. In an organization such as Clover, it is important to ensure that everything is done legally and officially. Clover's legal and secretarial department renders a comprehensive service to the group and plays a pivotal role in ensuring compliance to corporate governance and statutory requirements. Keeping everyone informed of the Clover Group's policies and decisions is the responsibility of Corporate Services, the department that specializes in the group's internal and external communications. Use of the internet and the group's intranet means all branches and even associates in other countries can be reached virtually instantly. Advances in technology have also transformed the production of the department's publications, which include the group's annual reports and its 2 magazines, In Clover and Forum. In addition, Corporate Services is involved in Clover's corporate identity and clothing, sponsorship of events, schools programs, support to human resources in terms of social responsibility, as well as organizing all official functions, including the annual management conference, directors' functions, award ceremonies, Clover Day, and other corporate events.
The Clover dairy story has taken us from the cow on the farm, through milk purchasing and collection, through Clover's factories, processors, distribution network and support services, to the people who keep the group running smoothly. It's a vast structure dedicated to producing, distributing and marketing Clover's unique range of products. So many products, so many flavors, so much variety. Yet all have one characteristic in common. They're all manufactured to the highest standards of quality, innovation and taste. No wonder so many consumers rely on the one name they've known since childhood. Clover.